Hello and welcome back to Boring Dead Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more An English Haunting. We're back in, I've forgotten his name now. William Crooks, is it? Anyway, we need to put this envelope, which will sit in this tray, which should transport him over to where we want him to go. I can be quick and swap the envelopes. The time is now. Done. Send it over to Florence. I think I heard a horse carriage. The coachman must be waiting at the door. Oh, Mr. Moore, I see you're still here. How do you find my little library? Very interesting. I could spend all day perusing each and every volume. But I must be off. Thank you for your hospitality. It has been a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Moore. We may see each other again on one of these days. Sooner than you think. Good afternoon, Mr. Crooks. Good afternoon, Mr. Moore. Now, where did I leave that envelope with the address of the British Confederation of Scientific Society's headquarters? Ah, yes. On the tray. Right. Let's go and see Florence. Getting our locations all ticked off. I don't know who said good afternoon. This is not the headquarters of the British Confederation of Scientific Societies. Are you Mr. William Crooks? Indeed. Do we know each other? Mr. Moore, what are you doing here? Florence? It's a pleasure to see you again, William. You're behind this setup. You must have switched the envelope intended for my coachman. Am I correct, Mr. Moore? Leave Mr. Moore alone, William. I don't know what methods he used to bring you here, but he was just fulfilling my wish. I won't deny that I am pleased to see you again. But Katie King, the manifestations, all that is now behind me. It belongs to the past. Today I don't want to get involved in such matters. I am a respected scientist. I wouldn't have required your presence if it weren't. Yes, Mr. Moore has informed me of everything. I'm sorry about your illness, but that is not... Oh my God, I'm very angry about this situation, but... Let me look at you more closely. You are still as beautiful as ever. I am not the young woman you once knew. Well, I'm old. Nor am I that handsome gentleman. Grey hair looks good on you. My eyes still find you even more attractive than back then. Gentlemen, miss, I must thank you for this unexpected gathering. It has made me feel 30 years younger. As long as I get to spend more time with Miss Cook, I will do as she asks. Come with me, William. I'll explain everything to you. This is frustrating. I thought Mr. Crooks would talk some sense into her. I hope my aunt doesn't have any problem. If anything happens to her, I will hold you responsible. I hope everything goes well. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Sergeant Hughes used to possess me when the ectoplasm had just formed. I'll try to contain the emanation and prevent it from taking its final form long enough for you to take a sample. Do you have a container on you, Mr. Moore? Yes, here it is. As soon as you've taken the sample, I'll cut the connection. Are you all clear, Mr. Moore? Yes. Be quick. I don't want to give that bastard a chance to fulfill his threat. There's a lot of light in here. Do you need us to turn off the lights and close the curtains? Darkness, candles and all that paraphernalia are just for the ambience and to influence the gullible. I could summon that bastard in the middle of Trafalgar Square. And Florence, you still have time. Please, this has gone too far. I am aware of the danger and the decision is made. Whatever happens, I want you to know that I love you. As for you, William, I regret all the harm I caused you. It never mattered to me, Florence. I managed to restore my reputation through my scientific discoveries.
I'm not talking about that. I pushed you away when we could have had a nice life together.
We still have time. Everything will be fine.
I will focus. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Take your time.
Am I supposed to do... Oh, I thought a cutscene was happening. Okay, let's have a look around.
A raven. Florence has always been accompanied by one. It is said that ravens anticipate the strange. When I investigated Florence, I asked her about it. She told me the raven was her particular alarm. Now I understand. She was always on alert in case Sergeant Hughes reappeared. So if we hear the raven caw, it means the entity is about to manifest. Mr. Crooks? Yes? Do you think this will work? Do you have doubts? If there's a medium with a bad reputation, it is Florence Cook. But she seems very convinced of it. Florence never told me about Sergeant Hughes, but she was afraid when I asked about her first mediumistic experiences. We'll find out in a moment.
There's no one hiding behind the screen if that's what you suspect, Mr. Moore.
Sorry, professional habit.
Be quick about taking the sample, would you?
I'll do that.
Mr. Moore, I'm ready. Remember, as soon as the ectoplasm materializes...
I'll take a sample and you cut the connection.
Exactly. Ectoplasm is just a reflection of the entity, a business card. It's not the entity itself. It's only an announcement that his soul is about to enter our reality. If you're quick enough in taking a sample, I will have enough time to close all the doors to Sergeant Hughes. Shall we begin?
At your convenience.
Gideon Hughes, can you hear my voice? Gideon Hughes, I'm talking to you. What's the matter, Gideon? Have you become shy over the years? You disappoint me, Gideon. You used to manifest yourself without being asked. What's the problem now? I intimidate you, don't I? I know what's happening here. You had no problem scaring a poor girl. Now that I'm an adult, you're not so brave, are you?
She's provoking him to manifest.
You wanted to kill me, remember? It was the last thing you said to a scared little girl. Go on, you coward. Keep your promise. Or are you a liar after all? You used to call yourself Sergeant Hughes. I don't think you were even an officer. You were probably just an ordinary private.
Oh, that's the raven crowing. The raven has... I can't believe what I'm seeing. Good Lord. Florence was always right.
Stop being amazed. We need to act now.
Yeah. Jaw. Ectoplasm. Scoop. I've got it.
Now on, Florence. Cut the connection.
It's all over now. Right? Miss Cook?
Aunt Florence. Are you well, Aunt Florence?
Oh dear. The raven is getting agitated. I have a bad feeling. Florence?
Aunt Florence.
Uh-oh.
Hello, Florence.
Miss me.
I don't know, maybe we'll make him a different accent.
I always keep my promises.
Whoa. Oh! No!
Good Lord! She is dead.
No! Oh my God, no! Are you happy now, Mr. Moore?
I'm sorry,
Shut up.
Listen to me, please.
No, you're the one who has to listen to me. Because ever since you walked into this damn house, you have not listened to me. I begged you to give up your endeavour. And look what you've done. You've got your damn sample. So get out of this house before I do something crazy.
This should not have ended like this. But your aunt.
I said leave. And Florence.
Yikes. That was a bit spooky. Right. We'll be off then. So we've got the ectoplasm. I guess we'll go back to the Archaeological Society, and hopefully that guy's turned up. The one we're waiting for. Okay, let's head up. Oscar Koenig? No, there's no one inside. Still? Okay, well we could go and give those things to Beatrice, I suppose, and maybe that will trigger the next stage. I was planning to go there after we got all three things together, but... I managed to speak with Florence Cook.
Yes?
And I've obtained this.
By all the branches of modern science. Is that what I think it is?
A sample of ectoplasm, indeed.
I can't believe it. Florence Cook was not a fraud. Oh, Patrick, do you realize what this means? We could offer the world solid proof that the beyond exists.
I think you're being overly optimistic, Beatrice. Look at the sample. It is nothing but a luminous amorphous gas. Skeptics will settle for any simple explanation.
All right. They need to see a ghost with their own eyes, and that's what we'll give them. But for now, I'm bursting with happiness. Give it to me. I'll start assembling the sample in the box of revelations. We still need to find Eugene Wood's photographic plate and whatever Professor Bennett has in his possession.
I'm on it. Yes, we've got the plate. We'll do that now as well. I have Eugene Wood's photographic plate.
Wonderful. Why was it so special to Nelson?
It has photographed ghosts. That simple.
Have you been able to prove it?
Yes, I have an album with photographs by Eugene Wood, taken with several plates from the same series. The one I got was the last one.
If we discard the frauds and take the ghost photographs as authentic, they all have something in common. They're products of chance.
Indeed. Spectres have always been captured to the photographer's surprise.
A family photo with a floating face, for example.
The figure of a lady in a window when photographing a building.
Do you remember Campbell's photograph?
Yes, the figure seated beside his wife in one of the empty seats on a train heading to Edinburgh.
Exactly. Whenever there's been an intentional effort to photograph a ghost,
It's been a failure.
what peculiarities might this plate have? Perhaps a chemical process that enhances the recording of the beyond? Before assembling the piece, I'd like to subject it to several tests.
Good idea. If we can figure out the unique qualities of the plate, we could enhance its effect in the box of revelations.
You've read my mind, Patrick.
Here you go.
Well, we have the photographic plate and the ectoplasm sample. What about Professor Bennett's piece?
I've been to the London Archaeological Society, but Professor Bennett is not there. His assistant could provide the key to the matter, but he is absent.
Well, we should...
Who knows we're here?
No one. You may come in. It is open.
Is that Eugene Wood? I can't remember. Oh, good afternoon. My name is Arthur Conan Doyle. You must be Professor Moore. Conan Doyle, the writer? I'm afraid so. I'm a great admirer of yours. An admirer of me or of Sherlock Holmes. Should we suspend the search? I found the Utah episode more interesting than the detective investigation. I prefer your macabre tales like The Parasite or Lot Number 249. You should foster that genre more. That was my wish, but that damn detective, a violin-playing drug addict, held me hostage for many years. I've had such an overdose of Sherlock Holmes that I feel the same way about him as I do about the foie gras pâté I overate some time ago. Just hearing his name is enough to make me feel queasy.
I hate to interrupt this book club, gentlemen, but what the hell are you doing here, Mr. Doyle?
The reason for my visit is that I saw a light from the street and I'd hoped to find Professor Nelson Ward here. Do you know him? I've always followed his investigations with interest, Professor Moore. We had a meeting with your colleague. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and I ended up funding the Box of Revelations. In fact, yesterday we donated a large amount specifically to Professor Bennett's excavation in Peru. But our friend Nelson Ward insisted this time it should be deposited in the university's name. I don't know why. Wait a moment. Do you mean that money belongs to the professor, not to the university? Exactly. The professor hasn't stolen anything, Beatrice.
So it seems.
If this whole affair smelled fishy to me before, it smells even worse now. I see you're aware of the unfortunate incident with the professor, and that you're unaware of his whereabouts. We know nothing. We came here in search of a clue that might shed light on where we could find him. But we've had no luck. I believe you. I see that despite the professor's absence, the manufacturing of the Box of Revelations continues. Are you working on it? Yes, we've managed to obtain the ectoplasm sample and Eugene Wood's photographic plate. Are you serious? That's fantastic news.
I suggest you lower your expectations, Mr. Doyle. I can assemble all the pieces and even modify part of the machine, but I fear it cannot be completed without Nelson's help. There are certain connections not stipulated in the blueprints, and frankly, I'm out of ideas.
In fact, we have yet to find Professor Bennett and have him enlighten us on the missing piece. So, two obstacles stand in the way of showing the public the existence of the beyond. I believe you can resolve the issue with Professor Bennett. In fact, you've managed to obtain the remaining pieces, which was Professor Ward's main concern. So, I trust in your abilities. As for finding Professor Ward...
What about you? Don't you solve mysteries in your novels? Seems you're good at it.
My dear, I began writing my Sherlock Holmes stories knowing at all times what has happened. I'm a writer, not a detective. But if I'm honest, I believe it's time to put my deductive skills into practice and compete with my most successful creation in intelligence. I have contacts all over the city and some suspicion of what might have happened to our friend. They're just conjectures, but if I take the right approach... Yes, that's what I'll do. You, Professor Moore, try to locate Professor Bennett. The great dame of Phantasmagoria, whom I deeply admire, and who seems to have revealed herself as a great scientist, will continue working on the machine. As for me, I will scour London in search of the missing professor. Is that all right with you? Yes, thank you for your help, Mr. Doyle. You can call me Arthur. We're a team now.
We're not quite there yet. Let's settle for something in between. How about Sir Arthur?
Well, if you wish. I'll get going. I hope to bring good news. Tell me something, Sir Arthur. What interest does the Golden Dawn have in the Box of Revelations? We are very curious about the beyond, perhaps more than the average person. Although our desire was not to share that information if the machine bore fruit.
Knowledge is power, isn't it?
You are correct, Miss Shaw. But Professor Ward insists on it. He wants to share the results with the world. There's a dispute about this in the Order. But as far as I'm concerned, I am with Professor Ward. You chose well. I'll return to the London Archaeological Society to see if this Oscar Koenig has returned. Good luck to both of you. See you shortly.
What are you standing there for? Go look for Nelson.
You are quite a character. I like it. Okay. Alright, well, we've got rid of most of our locations now, just this left. Okay. Okay then, let's go. I presume he's going to be here this time. One would hope so. Oscar Koenig?
Please come in, the door is open.
Mr. Koenig.
Yes?
My name is Patrick Moore, and
Professor Moore? You are Professor Ward's colleague. I have been eager to meet you.
may I ask you some questions?
Of course. He's going to sound more Russian. I can't really do a German accent, so he's going to sound a little more on the Russian side.
Did Professor Ward come to see you?
Yes, we had conversation with him a couple of days ago. The discussion was so fruitful that he became our benefactor.
What do you mean by benefactor?
He will finance our excavation in Peru.
Where can I find Professor Bennett?
I'm afraid he is out of London.
Out of London? Do you know when he will return?
He should have been back by now. I'm so concerned about his absence that I was about to set out to look for him.
According to my colleague's notes, Professor Bennett is involved with a... Excuse me for not being very precise in my description, but it seems to be a precious stone, a jewel?
Ah, the Scarlet Stone, yes. As colleagues, didn't he inform you about it?
There are too many things he didn't inform me about, so I hope you can enlighten me.
A week ago, after thorough research, we published an article where we announced that we had located the whereabouts of the Scarlet Stone. We omitted the details, of course. We didn't want that area swarming with treasure hunters benefiting from our discovery. Professor Wood read that article and came to propose an arrangement with us.
What arrangement?
I will be honest with you. We struggle to find funding for our excavations. Those close-minded idiots think we're chasing fantasies. They wouldn't fund us even for a train ticket to Birmingham. On the other hand, Professor Ward mentioned having a significant sum from a donation and offered to finance our excavation in Peru in exchange for using the Scarlet Stone in one of his experiments. We need that money, Professor. My mentor's reputation has declined in the recent years. We're outcasts within the archaeology guild. The deal seemed fair and beneficial to both parties.
What is the Scarlet Stone?
It's an artifact. Its construction dates back to the dawn of time. We believe it was made by the Hellburns.
What does the artifact do?
The Scarlet Stone generates continual high-voltage energy on its own, without any external assistance.
A potent and inexhaustible source of energy. Interesting.
It is also the source of legends.
What kind of legends?
Nothing relevant. Fantasies and superstitions. It is said that its creators were frightened by what it could do. They decided to hide it so that no human would misuse it. As I said, I intend to set out to search for Professor Bennett. I fear something may have happened to him. He might have found the artifact and had an unfortunate accident. Or perhaps he hasn't found it yet. Although if that were the case, he would have informed me via telegram. The train leaves tonight bound for Eriswell, Scotland. That's where the Scarlet Stone is located. Or would you like to accompany me?
Scotland? Well, I would like to, as this concerns both of us, but I'm having trouble obtaining the appropriate attire for such an endeavor.
Don't worry about that. I see you're the same size as me. I can lend you my clothes from my suitcase. What do you say? Will you join me?
Well, it will be a pleasure, although I need to inform my colleague Beatrice that I'll be absent for a few days first.
Sounds perfect. The train departs from King's Cross at 10. I'll be waiting for you. Germans in Britain share the same sense of punctuality, so let's honor that.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really do a German accent.
We will soon arrive in Scotland.
Don't get too excited, Professor Moore. There are still several transfers to go, and we'll have to rent a horse carriage. There is nothing in Eriswell. It's a desolate place. The only remnant of civilization there is an old lighthouse, which I don't know is even still in operation.
Well, let's hope Professor Bennett is safe and sound.
Yes, let's hope. And that by finding the professor, we will find the Scarlet Stone. I sense you don't have much faith in this venture, am I right?
Why do you say that?
I can see it in your eyes. You have the same look as the skeptics I face every day in my work.
I beg your pardon, but I'm trying to come to terms with the fact that we've embarked on a search for an artifact of advanced technology manufactured when man still lived in caves.
Yeah, the Herbans populated the world before that time. You don't believe they existed, do you?
I have my doubts. There's no historical evidence of it. And this is coming from someone who firmly believes in the existence of ghosts.
Let me explain to you what my job entails. Imagine that the world as we know it suffers a cataclysm of such magnitude that our civilization is wiped from the map. Cities are buried, and only a small handful of people survive. All knowledge acquired before then would be lost, as subsequent generations would be more concerned with seeking shelter from the elements, or essentially starting over. Follow me so far?
Yes.
Right. Well, let's fast forward tens of thousands of years. Humanity has managed to recover from that cataclysm, and the world has been repopulated, giving rise to new civilizations. Some wonder about their ancestors. Who were they? How did they live? So they begin to establish archaeological sites, and based on what they find in these excavations, they conclude that humans emerged after that cataclysm we discussed earlier. There is nothing further back because they haven't found any archaeological remains suggesting otherwise. A logical thought, but not entirely accurate. However, not all knowledge was lost in that cataclysm. Thanks to oral tradition, fragments of that era survived and were reflected in scrolls or books. Several of them talk about, let's say, an artifact called the Voice of the Dead. Several archaeologists decide to search for it. It's impossible for that to exist, say the most conservative ones. It's a fantasy. The only things we've found are sticks and stones, say the most skeptical ones. Have you dug deeper or explored certain uncharted latitudes? Asked the rebellious archaeologist. The response from the closed-minded group would be indifference or rejection, so that archaeologist starts digging on his own. And what does he find? A gramophone. A damn gramophone with a Pro Johnny record, an object out of its time. An artifact that is impossible for humans whose greatest technological achievements was a spear to hunt animals and feed themselves. Yet, for the civilization that perished in that cataclysm, it was just an entertainment device that could be manufactured anywhere in the world. Well, that's what the Scarlet Stone is. It's not a magical stone or a fantasy. Perhaps for the Urbans it was the equivalent of a car engine to us.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. By the way, you mentioned that its creators were frightened by what it could do.
Yes, that is documented in Mores Nostri by Celso de Rurus and in Tempus Quod Nunquam Fuit by Eudemo. Would you like my opinion?
Sure, go ahead.
Let's say one of our armies creates a projectile capable of wiping out an entire regiment. They decide to use it in war, but this projectile is so powerful that it destroys the entire city. If my faith in humanity coincides with that of the military, they would be frightened by what that artifact was capable of, and they would agree never to use it again. That could be what the Scarlet Stone represents, a source of energy that the Urbans couldn't control.
This has been a very interesting conversation, Mr. Koenig.
Call me Oscar.
But today has been a very hectic day, and my body can't take any more. Do you mind if I take a nap?
Yeah, don't worry about me. Rest if this rattling English sheep train allows it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good night, Oscar.
Good nacht, Professor Moore. Damn it!
Stop tormenting yourself, Oscar.
Stop? All my guild was in those trunks. Those incompetent station workers were just supposed to take our luggage to the hotel in Edinburgh. Maps, tools, clothes, flashlights, all lost.
I know, but there is nothing we can do now. Maybe we can find something around here that will help us.
Look around you. This is a desolate wasteland. There is nothing for miles, just rocks.
Not to worry, we will get through this. Let's search for Professor Bennett before it gets dark. We'll have plenty of time to lament later.
You're right. I apologize for letting you witness my frustration. Let's get moving.
Well, there's a light over there. Oscar, come here. Have you noticed those glints?
They are not signals, if that's what you're thinking. Look, the glints are very irregular. Maybe it's a small stream catching the last rays of the sun.
You sure about that?
That's my belief.
Okay, what about this brook? The water must be freezing. Oh, we've got exits. Don't have anything in my inventory anymore.
Professor, wait! I want you to have this. One copy of the topographic map of the area was lost with the trunks I took. I borrowed this piece of map from the inn where we stayed. I'll mark the places where Professor Bennett might be. Alright, let's use this area as our starting point. Nearby is a cromlech. Where is it? Yes, around here. It is an ancient druid stone circle where, according to our research, the scarlet stone was venerated. It is said the artifact we seek lies buried at its center. If the professor dug there, he has probably achieved his goal.
And if we see no signs of excavation, it would mean he never made it to Eriswell.
Exactly. There is a lighthouse a few kilometers downstream. On our way here, we saw that it is still operational. That means there's a lookout. He might have seen Professor Bennett wandering around the area. We should talk to him. All ready to go?
Yes, let's go.
All right. Well, let's maybe... Okay, that's where we start from. Let's go to the Cromlech, maybe. Curses!
What's the matter?
This is not the Cromlech where the Scarlet Stone is supposed to be buried.
You sure about that?
Yeah, Demo's writings were precise. Each stone should bear a spiral rune, the protective symbol of the Order of the Eternal Wind.
What was the Order of the Eternal Wind?
Yeah, the Scarlet Stone survived the cataclysm that ended its creators. It passed through various hands until it reached a druid sect who called themselves that. They possess great knowledge of past eras. Many of their rituals came from lost civilizations. When they obtained the Scarlet Stone, they studied it and understood its power. They agreed to hide it to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. The trail of the artifact we seek ends there, with the Order of the Eternal Wind.
Could others have obtained the Scarlet Stone after this sect?
No.
Why not?
Because it's impossible.
How can you be so sure?
Because we have done our job. There is no record of it being anywhere else. Don't be impertinent with your questions and believe me when I tell you that I am sure of it.
All right, I apologize. Seems the professor was here after all.
He has excavated the area, there is no doubt about that. But he mustn't have found anything. This is frustrating.
Does this mean that the Scarlet Stone is not in Eriswell?
It is in Eriswell, verdad nokmal. Why on earth shouldn't it be? I won't abide your pessimism, Professor.
All right, Oscar, don't get so upset.
We have spent years investigating its whereabouts. We couldn't have made any mistakes.
Calm down, will you?
Do not tell me to calm down.
What do we do now?
I don't know.
Listen to me, Oscar. Try to relax. Your attitude won't help us at all.
I apologize for not possessing the famous British phlegm.
I just ask you to try to calm down.
I am sorry. Without Professor Bennett, I'm lost. I won't find the artifact without him. And without the artifact, your colleague won't fund our excavation in Peru.
Yes, well, regarding that... I'm sorry I haven't been honest with you, but Professor Ward is missing.
What do you mean?
There was a minor incident and he decided to go into hiding. I've no idea where he might be.
But will he come back?
I don't know. I assume there will be news of him sooner or later, but...
Damn it! Why didn't you mention this before we set off?
I don't really know. I want that artifact as much as you do, and I decided to join you on this quest. But don't worry, I'm a professor at a very important university. I could pull strings that connect you to the patrons willing to fund you if this venture succeeds.
That better be true, Professor Moore. Otherwise, I will consider you a hindrance.
Have a look at the holes. No, there's nothing here. You mentioned that each men here should bear a spiral rune carved into it. Yes.
Yes.
Could it be that the elements eroded those runes until they vanished?
9. Throughout Europe, the remnants of the settlements of the Order of the Eternal Wind can be found. Such stone-carved runes have been discovered in Spain, France, and in my homeland, Mother Russia. Several of them much older than this Cromlech. So, in response to your query, no, 9. It is impossible for the elements to have completely erased those runes.
What about the big hole?
I understand the frustration of my colleague upon finding nothing here.
Maybe we could dig deeper, perhaps.
Don't you hear what I said before? This is not the cromlech we are looking for.
It's just the same as before. What about this hole? I see something sticking out of the ground. Oh, what's that?
What have you found?
A mirror. Could it be an object out of its time?
Don't joke around. It belongs to Professor Bennett.
Why would an archaeologist need a mirror?
It reflects sunlight to shine directly into the hole being excavated. An additional light source alongside the lamps and lanterns.
Well, we've got a mirror now.
I'm not sure there's much else to be achieved here at this time. Let's go to the lighthouse.
What the devil? Get out of here. From the lighthouse? From Eriswell.
Oh, I keep thinking it's a cutscene.
Oh, there's a little doggy.
Let's have a look at stuff first. We don't need a rope, Mr. Moore.
Not that we know of yet.
Well, we'll know where to find one if we need it. I don't understand your habit of keeping every object you come across.
All right.
Fair point. Let's touch the dog.
Oh. Hey, you're not authorized to enter the lighthouse. Oh, it's brimming with gravel. Excuse me.
Hey, what?
Why should we leave Eriswell?
Hey, this place is nae for ye. Damn it, I shouldn't even be in myself.
And why don't you leave this place?
Yeah, these coasts are treacherous. They have claimed the lives of hundreds of sailors. That was before they built the lighthouse. And someone has to take care of it. Ella, you won't see me venturing into those moors, no sir. Eriswell is full of dangers, did you know?
Oh, what kind of dangers are in Eriswell?
Yeah, the cliffs. You have to be careful if you didn't want to plunge off them. You'd be surprised at the human remains that can be found among the rocks. And the wind. It seems harmless, right? But this wind is relentless. It could drive even the sanest person mad. And I won't mention those damn mushrooms frae hell. Yeah, but above all.
Yes?
Nah. Forget it and get out of it as well.
Mushrooms?
Yeah, there's purple things sticking out the ground. You have to be careful not to step on them. And they're everywhere.
What are you doing with those stones?
I crushed them to turn them into gravel.
And then what do you do with that?
I spread it along the path to the door of my home. Yeah, the stranger probably caught their attention. I want to be alert in case they approach while I sleep. If they step on the gravel, I'll hear them coming.
They? Who are they?
Those who play the trumpets. I heard them once. It's been centuries since anyone heard them.
What trumpets?
The ones of the apocalypse. Professor Moore, come here. This man is delusional. He's not the first lookout to lose his mind in the solitude among natural elements.
I'm going to talk to him again. Sorry to disturb you.
He's still hanging around here.
Tell me about the stranger you've seen around here. Could he be an archaeologist? We're looking for him.
There was a fellow carrying strange instruments. I suppose he was an archaeologist by the way he was dressed.
Did you talk to him?
He didn't come around here. I didn't go near him either. He used to sleep in one of the caves on the northern cliff. He lit a fire in it at night, and that catches the eye. Maybe that's why the trumpet sounded for the first time in years.
Where is that cave?
To the north there are the cliffs. The cave is on a ledge. Might need the rope now if we're going along a windy cliff to a cave.
Can we enter the lighthouse? From above, we would have a full view of the terrain.
You're not authorised to enter the lighthouse. Only I am.
But if we could...
I said only I am authorised to enter the lighthouse. Is that clear?
What's the dog's name?
Dog? You mean that scrawny rat? It doesn't have a name.
Well, how do you call it then?
With a whistle.
It looks like a quiet dog.
Yeah, too quiet. It's as if it came out of a taxidermist's warehouse. And on top of that, it's a coward. It gets scared at seeing a reflection in the water. And when that happens, you have to calm it down so it doesn't have a heart attack. Some companion.
Well, thank you for your time.
You should listen to me. Get out at Eriswell. Alright. I think I know what to do with the dog. I guess this is going to cause a distraction so we can go into the lighthouse.
Do you want to see yourself in the mirror, doggy?
What the hell is wrong with you? Do you want to calm down?
There are piles of stones on the table.
Maybe it's for the rope. Okay. Something in the sack. Why did I distract him? What was the point? Like, oh yeah. I don't know. Okay, maybe it will become obvious later. Let's go... Have you calmed down? That's the way I like it. Okay, I was hoping the dog would run off and he might go off and then we could go in the lighthouse, but let's just go to the next location then.
Wait here.
Professor? Professor Bennett? Professor, damn it!
Nothing?
He's not here.
Look outside. The professor spent several nights in this cave. Are there any signs of his belongings?
I don't know, it's very dark and I couldn't see anything.
I should go in as well.
Go ahead if you wish. But as I mentioned, you won't see anything. Well, I've got a weird purple mushroom. Be cautious with that mushroom. It's an Amanita involutus. If crushed, it will release spores that could render you unconscious for quite a while.
I'll be careful.
Alright, what if we use the mirror with the lighthouse?
Too far away.
But it might provide some illumination, potentially.
I could use the mirror to direct the light into the cave. The lighthouse intervals are so fast that I'd barely have time to see anything.
Okay, I think I know what to do now. Right, back to the lighthouse. Right, gonna scare the dog. Again? What have you seen? Okay, we're gonna pop the mushroom on the table. Hallelujah! Try to relax, will you? Accursed mutt.
What the? Are you all right? Yes, not really. Yeah, just about there. I think I need to sit down.
Right, I think we can go in the lighthouse now.
This must be his wife, or his daughter. I recognize the coast of Eriswell in this old photograph. There is a diary on the table. It doesn't reveal more than we've already gleaned from the lighthouse keeper, although there are several notes regarding them. However, it doesn't specify who they are. Empty. Seems this lever controls the direction of the lighthouse's beam. Probably got the ladder first. Several bottles, kitchen utensils, and a couple of maritime novels by Joseph Conrad. Alright, let's go up. There is a trapdoor with a padlock preventing access to the upper floor. Okay, what about... This looks like a trapdoor, doesn't it? But I can't click on it. Okay, so... Controls. A list of precautions when using the panel. It basically says that you should gently pull this lever without forcing it. South? I suppose I could look at the map. No, he said it's to the north, didn't he? Caves to the north. I remember now. So let's do that. Alright, let's go check that out. Aha. Oscar.
Yes?
Stand against that wall.
This one?
Yes.
Is this okay? What are your intentions?
Hold this mirror.
I see what you have in mind.
Raise it slightly and aim it towards the interior of the cave.
Aha.
Thank you. Lookout was right. There are the remnants of a fire here.
What else do you see?
A bag.
All right, check it. It might contain his diary. That will help us track his movements.
Telescope.
Did you find it?
There was only a telescope.
Nothing else?
No, just that.
Can I lower the mirror? My arms are starting to get tired.
Yes, of course, there's nothing more to see here.
How strange. It's as if the earth swallowed him up. Where are you, Professor Bennett? I'm running out of ideas, Professor Moore.
Okay, so I have an inkling where we should use the telescope. So we're going to go back to our first location. I'm going to use it on that flashing light over there.
What do you see?
A camp with a single tent. Could it be Professor Bennett's?
Let me see. No, it's not his tent, though I can affirm 'tis the typical camp of an archaeologist.
Shall we investigate that camp?
This is not an archaeological site, at least not for conventional archaeologists. I'm intrigued by others excavating here.
Do you think they're also after the Scarlet Stone?
We were cautious not to reveal the specific location in our article. We were very careful about that. Let's go speak with these folks. They may have got contact with the professor recently.
He might even be there with them.
Yeah, well, that would be very good news. Ready for a hike, Professor Moore?
Yes, let's go. Let's go do that thing. Ah, another mirror.
Looters.
Excuse me?
Parasites who feed off the work of others. They probably follow Professor Bennett's movements and stole the Scarlet Stone.
If that's the case, then where is the professor? Where are they?
They might be getting rid of him right now.
I beg your pardon, but aren't you being a bit paranoid?
You don't know this profession. These looters are ruthless.
They may simply be archaeologists, just like you.
Look at this box. It has a huge lock. What archaeologist so jealously guards a simple box? I bet the Scarlet Stone is inside.
Or his work tools.
We must be alert. These people are dangerous. Alright, let's have a look round.
There are a couple of books on Scottish sites. There's also an old lamp that would have been useful to light up that cave.
It's still smouldering. They can't be far.
I only see a sleeping bag. There's just the one.
If I were you, I wouldn't trust it. They usually don't work alone.
This is the source of the glints I saw from afar.
Alright, we don't have anything to use with anything. I'll have a look at the box.
A thick chain and a lock prevent the box from being opened.
I have a feeling about this. The Scarlet Stone is in there.
I don't understand why you believe that. I recall you saying no one knows the artifact's location. You were careful not to give any clues in the article you wrote, right?
Indeed. I don't know how it could have happened, but these looters know.
Don't know what more there is to do. If we go out, is it just back to the map? Yeah, okay, well... Stay here for now. There must be something to do here. Feels like a bit of a dead end. We talked to Koenig.
The artifact is in that box, I know it.
We shouldn't loot other people's belongings.
Do you know what irks a looter the most? Being looted themselves.
Okay. I don't know what to do. What about if we just walk over this way now? There isn't anything here, is there? I mean, I don't have anything. Okay, you know, a moment or two ago I had a look at the time of the video, so I think it's probably a good place to leave it for now. I think what I will do when we return is maybe go back to our previous locations and just see if there's anything there that we've missed in terms of something to help us get into this padlock. I don't remember seeing anything, but that doesn't mean there isn't. But for now, I'll just say thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, if you could hit that thumbs up button, that'd be very much appreciated. And equally appreciated would be leaving a comment. Let me know what you think about the game so far, this series, anything you like, really. And if you're, if you have enjoyed it and haven't already subscribed to the channel, if you could do that, then that would be brilliant as well. So thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.